Hello my friends, my name's Vee Bee and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a August greenhouse update for you, and full disclosure, it's September 3rd. I was not out here in the greenhouse very much the past month. We had a big family trip and we went to Ontario, which was really lovely, but most of the month was kind of like revolving around that. So the beginning of the month we were preparing and there, and then recovering at the end of the month. So I really wasn't out in the greenhouse very much. I did have some folks coming to water things and take care of the chickens and Earl, of course, but I didn't leave great instructions and I didn't leave things in like top form when I left because traveling stresses me out, so I just kind of like did what I could and that's where we're at. So it's like, it's okay out here, but definitely I've just been looking around and sort of starting to think like what I could improve on next year. That's kind of where I'm at, because things are starting to wind down for the summer and I know everybody's really excited for fall, and like I am too. I'm just not ready to say goodbye to summer yet because I need more vitamin D in my life before the winter hits. You know, we've had a lot of heat waves this summer everywhere, but it was still snowing in May when I was getting the greenhouse ready. So like, I'm just not ready to go back to winter yet because it really holds on in the Maritimes where I live. So anyway, September is still a beautiful month, so we'll have a nice month out here, and I definitely have a lot of work to do. But I thought for this video, maybe I would just have a little chatty video about some plants that are out here, just because that's really all I can offer for the month of August. You can see how things grew. Isn't that nice? So I'm just going to talk about a few of the little plants that are growing out here. One exciting update is that I have managed to reunite all of my gardening gloves and they're all clean at the same time. So that's great, because I will tell you oh, I thought it was the mouse again. It's just the wind. One update out here is that the spiders have really taken over. There are spiders everywhere, and I mean, they are doing the Lord's work. I respect the spiders, but they are getting big and they are everywhere. The mosquitoes are also off the hook right now. They are out for blood mercilessly. I mean, they always are, but like, it is like a different intensity. It's like last call for the mosquitoes, and they are doing as many little shooters as they can before the bar closes. And you know, it's not super pleasant to be out here, so I really respect the spiders. But holy smokes, those spiders, they are big and they are everywhere, and I have walked through some really big webs. The other day I was going to like the compost pile and I was walking along the side of our barn, and it was like, it happened in slow motion. Like I could see the spider and I was coming towards it and I couldn't stop. And so I ended up putting on quite a show for the neighborhood. I had like some windmill arms going. I had like a lot of head banging and maybe even a couple of like kicks, you know, just for good measure. And like, ugh. Anyway, I really respect the spiders. They're so icky to me. Everything else out here, like, you know, I just saw a mouse. I'm okay with the mouse. I'm okay with the snakes. I'm okay with everything else. And I respect the spiders, but man, are they icky. Anyway, so I need my gloves because I need to disrupt all of them. There's been a lot of spider renovicting going on this week in the greenhouse. I feel bad for them because I mean, I know they put a lot of work into their webs, but it's just poor civic planning, you know? Like I went to fill up the chicken food this morning and I'm starting to develop like a sense about it, like a spidey sense, if you will, because I started to open the door and I was like, something doesn't feel right here. And a spider had built a web perfectly in the door casing. So, and of course they're always like just above eye level. So anyway, that little spider had to move, but I didn't run into that one, so it's progress. What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, my pillias. So the first plant that I wanted to tell you about is my Moon Valley Pillia. They're so cute. I had a really big one of this plant, and these are propagations from it. And I don't really know what happened to it. It just like started rapidly declining. So I took a bunch of cuttings. At one point I thought maybe it had soft scale on it. They're so hard to see. Anyway, I didn't really know, so I just like treated it and I took cuttings, but they really were like not doing so hot. So I brought them out as a last ditch effort, and I'm really excited that they are looking like that, because this is kind of more what it was looking like before it came out. They all kind of looked a bit like this with some browning and like really like, oh, there's a little spider. Yeah, the texture is so cool. It's just like really like waffly. So neat. And like I love this like inner color that gets going on. So pretty. I love them. Okay, some of the other plants that I just want to talk about in general are all of my succulents out here, because they are thriving. They're living their best lives. This is a little pickle plant. Oh, stop looking at me. This is a little pickle plant, and like, oh my god, look at the little flower that's coming. Oh my god, they're so cute. Some of the succulents that could be doing better are my Wandering Jade and my Stapelia. The Stapelia plant isn't technically mine. I'm just sort of hanging out with it. But the Wandering Jades, on some of them, something has eaten the new growth, so they look a little gnarly, but other ones look really happy, so it's a little hit or miss. So I'm probably just gonna end up trimming off the like pieces that are like a little and then I'll propagate those ones, and the rest of the plants look like pretty happy, so that's good. There's a little spider, and I just don't it's like floating through the air. I don't understand what it's hooked onto. It's just like floating away from me right now. What the hell? Spiders. What is it about spiders? Like, it's like, I don't understand what it's attached to. It's just like floating away from me peacefully. Oh god. Anyway, okay, whatever. One more plant that I really have to draw your attention to in the succulent cactus family, not that they are the same family, but you know what I mean, is this Senecio something or other. I've heard it, I've seen it called like a pickle plant. I've seen it called a worm cactus maybe. Anyway, whatever it is so happy. You can tell it had like a bit of a scale situation at one point, but my dear friend Krista, who gave it to me, cleared it up and then gave it to me, and I haven't seen anything else on it, so I think it's good. And it has so much new growth. If you've been following along throughout the summer, this has kind of had like an up and down journey. It was growing in a greenhouse environment, so I just, you know, schlepped it out here and thought it would be fine, but it kind of like was a little traumatized, and so I broke off some pieces. But as you can see, we've got like so much new growth going on here. I'm mostly just talking about my houseplants, but I think that's okay, right? We can talk about the tomatoes another day, maybe later. This is my colocasia. It was very sad when I got back from Ontario, but I wasn't worried because it puts out new leaves like a beast. So even though it looked pretty harsh, I knew that it was fine. And this is the newest leaf, like it's still kind of unfurling, as you can see. I am a little worried about some of this, like there's like some dotting on this leaf. So I'm hoping that's just like pest damage, but I don't know. I might have some like fungal issues out here in the greenhouse, so I'm a little worried. Again, I don't know how I'm gonna bring these plants back into the house. I might have like a quarantine period in the garage area just to try to be proactive about not killing the rest of my houseplants in the house. What else? I mean, a lot of things were really happy. A few things were not so happy, like my trellis situation could be better. It's actually looking a lot better. When I first came home, it's a bit of a dramatic plant, and it is in a hanging basket, so it dries out a bit. But when I got here, it was just like, and just like so dried out and sad. And that was the first thing I saw, and I was like, oh God, everything is dying out here, which was just literally me being dramatic. Like, you know, even when I walked through the house and looked at my houseplants, your eye just gravitates towards the ones that are the saddest, and that's the only thing you can focus on. So that is not, and it's fine. It's definitely not filling out the trellis as much as I would have hoped. Then again, I haven't been here or done anything to help it along, so that's not really the plant's fault. I think for next year, I'm definitely going to make a trellis situation. I'm going to make a better trellis. It's going to be much prettier somehow. I don't know how I'm going to make it prettier, but it will be. And I'm gonna use multiple plants next time instead of just having one central plant, because I think it was too much to ask of one planter to fill out that entire trellis. I mean, maybe if I'd started earlier in the year, which I'm also going to start earlier in the year next year. These are all my like resolutions for next year's greenhouse. But I think what I'm going to do is, instead of just having one central plant for this trellis situation, I think I'll have like a few at each end of the trellis, and then they can all like sort of meet in the middle and fill everything out. So I think that's what we'll do. But I'm not sad about it, and it definitely like has really bounced back a lot this week. Yeah, it's just, you know, I just had this like lofty goal, and I did sweat so much putting up that trellis. So yeah, it's fine, but things we learn for next year. Next year will be better, right? That's like the gardener's mantra. So as far as the other plants, you know, like the food ones that, you know, the greenhouse is really predominantly about, yeah, like things are okay. I definitely had a more successful year last year, and I think I can probably chalk that up to a few different factors, things to improve on for next year again. Yeah, the tomato plants could be a little bit more productive. I probably should have fertilized a little bit more. I probably should have started them earlier. I probably should have given them better soil. One thing that I did out here, just because I was a little broke when we were starting the greenhouse, I just sort of made do with what we had here. So I had some leftover bedding soil, and I bought some compost, but yeah, I didn't fill up the bins quite as much because I just wanted to experiment. It's a long story, but I just wanted to experiment with them having like a little less soil, and I think I probably should have let them have all of the soil. I also tried to spread out that fresh bedding mix as much as I could, but I think I needed a higher mixture of fresh soil in there, because I think just the nutrients in the soil got used up last year, so much so. And that's why I think if you look at some of the different pots, some things were like really happy and other things were like a little bit stunted. And I think maybe some of that comes down to how the soil was mixed, because it definitely wasn't mixed like evenly throughout. It just sort of like, I think a few things maybe could have had some better soil, but it's okay. Like some of the things that didn't really grow the best were my peppercornici. I'm not saying that right. I've been saying it wrong this whole time, and I know that that's the way I've been saying it, so I know that's not right. But my little Italian hot peppers, which I got to try at a Caesar bar when we were in Ontario, they were not the peppers I thought I had planted, but the ones that we got are definitely the ones that were growing here. So some of those peppers didn't grow like the best. Like one plant just had like one pepper on it. That's fine. We had so many hot peppers last year that we didn't even get through. Like we planted habaneros, and I probably should have made a hot sauce out of them, but they were like kind of inedibly hot for me anyway. I'm a bit of a baby, but yeah, so like we don't need that many hot peppers. And I will tell you, one thing that is doing great over there is my jalapeno plants. Like of anything, they are just like kicking butt. And we've got so many hot peppers over there. I mean, Again, like there could be more, but there's only 2 people in my house, and like I say, I'm not like the biggest hot pepper connoisseur, but I think I might make some jalapeno poppers out of them because there's a lot and I really want some. So my marigolds are doing really well, which is like kind of an aside. They're very tall. I probably should have like pinched them back, I guess, to keep them like kind of smaller, but like I kind of love how they've just been like doing their thing over there. They're just so happy. Next year I'm definitely going to plant more flowers out here because the flowers that I do have out here, like my little pansies and my marigolds, make me really happy, and my little thunbergia too, although it's, you know, it gives me a little bit of grief because it's been so sad. But these are things. These are all things. I'm not disappointed about how the greenhouse has gone. Just like a few things that, you know, next year will be better. So my friends, that's about all I wanted to talk about for this update. I just really needed to nerd out about the plants out here for a little bit, and I just really wanted to talk about some of the house plants, especially because I haven't really, I haven't given them a lot of highlight on my little greenhouse updates. I am excited for September. I'm gonna do a little bit more planting out here. Like I'm gonna try to get one more crop of spinach. This is the chicken's egg song, so somebody's in there laying an egg. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment in the greenhouse. Okay, I'm gonna wind things down because it's gonna continue to be loud over there with the chickens laying an egg. They're so funny. Oh my god, those chickens. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about out here. I just really wanted to nerd out about some of the plants. The animals, like what a fucking Disney princess? Like, Jesus, just give me a moment's peace. I just need to update this. I just need to do an update. That's about everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I just really wanted to show you some of the houseplants and talk about them a little bit, because some of them, it's been really exciting watching them grow out here. And I think September is going to be a really nice month too. Like I'm really excited to finally taste some of these tomatoes that we've been watching grow. I'm also going to plant some like lettuce and spinach and try to get one more last harvest of that out. And then we still have peas and beans that are doing really well. I've got to work on them, but they're doing well. So it's going to be a really exciting month out here, and I'm really excited to just sort of like watch the end of the greenhouse season. Yeah, I'm not quite ready for fall, I have to say. This morning when I went out to the chicken coop, I saw a patch of frost and I was not emotionally prepared for that. But it's going to be good. That's what September is for. It's, you know, there's a nice crisp chill in the air in the evenings and in the mornings, and I'm just getting mentally prepared for it. I love fall, don't get me wrong. I'm there with you. It's just the summers just went by so fast this year. I just had too much fun, I guess. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Leave me a comment down below if you like this video, and if you know what's going on with my tomato plants, or if you know what's going on with my stapelia, I would love to hear it. Please be nice, but I would love to not have to do that internet search, although I will. But you know, if you want to tell me, I am not opposed to hearing your feedback on that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day and happy growing. Bye.